Hello everybody, Walter here. Welcome to episode 28 of my Oxygen Not Included Let's Play series with the Space Dot and DLC. In the previous episode, we continued expanding our secondary base on the neighboring asteroid with a great hall, a couple private bedrooms, and a power grid backed by a tamed hydrogen vent. Unfortunately, we didn't quite manage to tame the hot polluted oxygen vent that is just nearby, so we already know what you're going to do in this episode, among other things. So, without further ado, let's jump back into the game and have a look. And here we are, back on Turbine at our power production facility with the plug slugs, the coal power and the hydrogen power, right below our new living quarters. A bit lower here we have our hot polluted oxygen vent, which is still hidden behind this blob of materials. But before we can start working on taming this one here, we will have to wait until the water has been pumped out. Which means we have some time for other things to do. And the first I would like to do is reducing the amount of power I'm storing in those batteries here, so that the plug slugs have actually some reserves they can fill during the night, or I would just waste the power they produce. Next up, on the conveyor loader here, I'm going to change the settings a tiny bit under organics. I'm not going to move over the slime, because I want to do some farming on this asteroid later on, and I will need some slime for that. So, now, while we're waiting on that, we can already start taming this volcano over here, which is an iron volcano. But for that, I'm going to need a few materials. So, let's get over to Albano and grab those. The first thing I need is some wolframite. 500 kilos should be well enough for that. I'm also going to grab myself some more gold. Yeah, I can go with a full 20 tons for that. I have way more than I'm going to need over here for now. And now, while I'm waiting for that to be provided, let's have a look how this is going. Yeah, this is almost done, which means that we are close to sweeping up all of the stuff that is lying around here, which can be a bit problematic, or well, a bit lengthy, because there are no transit tube accesses in the vicinity, which is especially a problem down here in this area here. So I think I'm just going to add one more transit access down in this general area here. And while working on that, I also removed the superfluous gas pump up here, since now this one here is no longer underwater. Okay, with this in place, I can give a couple sweeping orders just so my dupes can start on all of this down here. And maybe also up there, just so everything that can be quickly moved over will be moved over, and that way I hope I can get a grip on my lag issues I'm currently experiencing. So just a couple sweeping orders all over the place to get rid of all of this here, and also all of that, and hopefully that should keep my noobs busy for a good while. But let's have a look at the solids. So we have, yeah, I think this is enough. I don't need the full 20 tons. I can deal with just what I already have in there. So let's move that over. Now, another thing I noticed while I was looking around, I still only have one oak shell and one sarny shell, and I think I know why. Yeah, they have 100% chance to produce a normal poker shell, since they are not dwelling in ethanol or water. So yeah, I'm just going to switch those to normal poker shells. I also don't need the sarny shell and poker shell incubators. 2 incubators for the normal ones should be well enough. Now, let's have a look what we can print out. Maybe there's something useful in here. We have another rancher potentially. That might be a good idea actually. Research building, not really. Another mouth briefer builder. I don't need oxalite. I have way more than I need. I think I'm actually going for another rancher, because I already saw a couple of my critters having the glum debuff. So yeah, another rancher might be a pretty good idea. So Ellie, number 3 or 4, I don't know right now, is on the team. She will go into shift number 3. Come on, shift 3. And then priorities for Ellie. Where is Ellie? Ellie is at the very bottom. Okay, she will go and do ranching primarily. Well, she will only do ranching, maybe some farming on the side. For skills, Ellie is getting improved farming, and then in the next step, she's going into critter ranching. Very nice to see that. Now, let's have a look how this all goes. One thing I can also already do is maybe increase the amount of food we're getting over to the second asteroid, because once I'm done with digging on this asteroid, I'm going to move my second digger over to speed up the building over there a bit. So let's say 0.7. Yeah, 0.7. This is definitely enough for 4 tubes. Okay. This is also all looking very good. Almost done over here. And now let's have a look. Yep, this is pretty much dug out, so I can start planning out the Tamer, and I'm going with the standard setup for now, which I already used a couple times, and which is basically just a carbon copy of this Tamer over here. So let's speed this up a bit, because you have already seen this in the previous episodes. And there we go, everything is planned out except for the central blob, which I will do once I have the outer layer and the liquid lock in place, so I can actually get a vacuum going. But we have another problem over here. This thermo aqua tuner here is overheating because it's in a vacuum, and I'm not sure where all of the water went. There was definitely enough in there. So I suspect there was some kind of deletion bug going on. So next time I'm building something like this, I'll do it differently. Anyway, let's have a look. Can we get some water in there? Yeah, we can still get some water in there, but we have to be fast with that. So let's grab a bridge, and I'm just going to, well, super high priority, get this placed, let's say here. And then I'm going to grab myself some water from over here. So let's say over there, down, and up there. And hopefully this is built fast enough before this here actually overheats and gets destroyed. Because getting in there and repairing this would be, let's call it, rather tricky. And here comes the water to the rescue. I, in the intermediate time, turned off the aqua tuner, so it was able to cool down properly again. And now we are getting water in here, and pretty quickly already. Yeah, I think this is enough water again, so I can get rid of this pipe here and turn on this to 30 degrees again. And that was the bridge removed. Now, on second thought, I think I'm actually going to leave this pipe in place in case I need to do another emergency flooding. Although with about 80 kilograms per tile, that would take a little while, even with some kind of deletion bug going on. So anyway, let's have a look how the digging is going over here. So that is pretty much all already done. There is also nothing really hard to dig around. So I think I'm actually going to grab myself a ruby and put him to work on dribbling. So let's grab our teleporter, which is around here. And let's get Ruby over to the other asteroid. Now let's have a quick look at the priorities. Just going to increase the priority so another dupe is going to work on that, even if they are prioritizing other stuff usually. But besides of that, I should start giving some cleanup orders, sweeping orders all over the place. So all of this here gets swept up, and I hopefully will manage to greatly reduce the amount of lag I'm going to get in the future. So, yeah, I think that's most of it. There's still stuff around over here, likely stuff that was falling when the dupes went around and had a little break. Yeah, so Ruby is waiting, so let's send them over. And yeah, now And yeah, come on, print them. And now let's have a look at our setup over here. Yeah, I'm still working on the outer shell, but once that is in place, I can start working on the internals of the steam chamber. One little side note here, I had some bleach stone in there, so I had to replace this with a normal tile, or otherwise I would have destroyed my complete vacuum in there from the inside, and that would be somewhat counterproductive. But anyway, let's get all of this here done. I can also put in a steam turbine. Let's make that of copper. And then I can start closing this side off here. Well, not yet, because there's still a little bit of stuff missing. But what I also need to do is get some water in here and some cooling water. And usually I would use polluted water, but normal water is working just as well. And yeah, I don't have a good source of polluted water over here. Although, I could use the polluted water from up there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the pump up there and then put it with a pipe into the cooling loop over here. Well, it turns out there was a blob of polluted water right at the bottom here, so I went with that and not with the part up there where I would have to do more digging. So anyway, it turns out the Iron Volcano is currently dormant, so I can also start putting in the temp shift plate out of diamond right there. And then a conveyor reel out of wolframite right on top. That should be all I need to avoid this from melting. And yeah, now, yeah, of course I need to also sweep up all of the garbage in there. But besides of that, this is pretty much done. The last parts are, well, just completing this and cleaning this up a bit. And of course also putting in a decent amount of water, which I can already start working on. So I can grab my water from my pipe over here. And I'm just going to, yeah, run this along here, the back, and then with a bridge into this pipe there. Yeah, that's all I need. And just a couple cycles later, the Tamer is essentially done. The last part missing is Ren analyzing the Iron Volcano, which is going to take a little while since he is not the fastest at research. I also decided against putting hydrogen at the top there. Oxygen, especially under high pressure like here, is sufficient, and there was no polluted oxygen in there, or any other gas for that matter, so I decided to just close this off and call it a day. I still need to turn on the conveyor loader, and now I basically just wait until Ren is done here, and then I can close this off. But while I'm waiting, let's have a look. Yeah, we are finally done over here with the pumping. So we can clean out all of this here. And also this pipe here, all the way to there. And now, once we have some more space, we can actually start planning out the Tamer. Now, first of all, as you can see, I already put in a couple of insulated tiles at the bottom here, since I had heat leaking into this very cold biome down here. And I also already put in beginnings of a liquid lock in this space, so I can later on then start analyzing the hot polluted oxygen vent without venting too much gases. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing I need is a capsule around the vent. Just the side and the top needs to be out of ceramic, the rest can be normal igneous rock. Then I need to go over here, and this one needs to be raised a bit. I still need to get in there, so for now I'm just going to leave an opening here. In this corner I'm going to place my gas pump. The gas pump is the actual output, so let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, let's go just straight up. And where is the output? Ah, there's... it's here. You know what? This will be a permanent installation, so I don't have to worry about anything falling into the chamber down there. Yeah, that looks good. And we have some printables, so let's have a look what we can work with. Ice, I don't really need. Some lava eggs might be an option. Supplying titty, no. Nope, those are both no-goes. Let's go with the eggs and let's grab them over here. So I'm going to grab myself those lava eggs and I'm once more moving them, at least one, I'm moving over to the pen over there and the other ones can just be put into the drowning chamber there. Yeah, that should be well sufficient. Okay, now while I'm here, let's have a quick look. I think I have an Arbor icon. Yeah, I have one Arbor icon, which means I can start working on the Arbor tree farm here. So, what I need are, first of all, the Arbor acorns, highest priority, so I get it in there. And once that has been provided, I'm going to get rid of it again. So, first of all, Arbor acorn. And now I think Ellie here, yep, okay, is bringing it down. Let's just speed this up a tiny bit. So, now we have the acorn in there. And now I'm going to leave it in the open. And I have to make sure they are not put in here. So, where is the Arbor acorn? So, copying this for all of the ones here. Just so it remains in there and the pip can come by and actually plant it in those places here. And once it has grown up, which will take a while, so this is the main reason I'm doing it right now, I will get more acorns out of that. But that's, as I said, something that will take a little while. Anyway, I was working on the Tamer over here. Now, the next stage needs some window tiles at this height. 3 here, another 3 there. Then I need some temp shift plates. One here, another one there, and a third one I will place here. I'm also going to need some atmosensors. One here and another one there. Wait. It's just there. Okay. Then a liquid vent here, another one there. I'm going with a split turbine design like the top there. Just slightly modified since I don't have much space at the top there. So I'll have to improvise a bit. So I still need the filter gate. Just there. Then some automation wire here and there. And over there. I also need another insulation tile here and there. The top will have to wait a bit, and this insulation tile will also have to wait a bit, since I still need to get a good bottle of water in there. So, this is all looking quite good. This can be igneous rock. Then I will have my floor here, and then the future ceiling will be right on top of this here. Yep, that is looking good so far. And wait, this needs to be moved over. This is actually a bit too far to the right. Okay, so this now needs to be built before I can continue with actually looking at the vent. But let's have a look. Yeah, okay, Ren is still analyzing this one here, so it doesn't make much sense to open up the other one until we are actually done with this one here. Let's just hope this here remains dormant until we can actually get our hands on or are done with this. So, ladder there, and then, yeah, we are soon going to get some more polluted water in here. I'll very soon have to deal with all of the liquids in there, but this can wait until I'm done with all of this here. And I just got the warning that my Hydra is running out of hydrogen, so let's have a look what's going on over here. Okay, I still have hydrogen. This is down to below half. Yeah, okay, I know what's going on. Right, let's have a look. I think I know what's going on at least. Yeah, we are pretty much out of coal, which means that the coal generators here are no longer being provided with coal and no longer provide us with the power. So, it's time for some emergency actions. First of all, I'm going to turn off my generator for nuclear fuel. And I'm also going to turn off my Radbolt generator, which was producing around, I think, over 2000 Radbolts per cycle, which is absolutely crazy. And apparently already hit a couple dupes in the intermediate time. Okay, this is something I may have to fix in the future. Anyway, let's see. How do I fix this? Let's actually pause before we run into any more issues. There should still be a bit of coal around. Yeah, there is some coal here, some coal there. A lot of coal here. And I think at the bottom to the left there's also some coal left over. Yeah, a little bit over there. Okay, so let's see. How do I want to do this? You know what? I'm going to send Ruby, or who am I going to send back? Yeah, I'm going to send Ruby dig number 2 back. I'll have to work with less tubes over here, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's also dig out this part down there. And we are getting water in here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be enough water. This can also be removed. So, Ruby is waiting. Let's teleport over. And once Ruby is over, I'm going to quickly pause and put down a couple digging orders. So, I need to dig into some coal. We have some coal here. Super high priority. Just digging out the coal here. Is there any more coal here? No, it doesn't look like it. No, no coal over there. But more coal to the right. So, let's see. Let's start at the top there. This is a bit far. I don't want to reach that far. I can get in here. Let's see. Yeah, let's go in there. And then let's just dig up straight here. Maybe without digging into the area up there right now. Then, yeah, let's just dig plain over here. Let's get our hands on all of this coal here and over here. How do I want to do this? Yeah, that should be enough to get up there. Yep. And down here, there is more coal down here. So let's also dig in here. And up there. And that should be sufficient for right now, I hope. But this also means that I'll have to very quickly work on getting alternative power sources running, namely petroleum generators and later on maybe some natural gas generators. Yeah, so let's see where we can go over here. But for now, let's still concentrate on building this one here up. And, well, one of the things I obviously need to do is get all of the garbage out. The liquids I'm already being moved over. That is very important because I don't have a collection area for them yet. This is another thing I will have to do pretty soon. And there is some carbon dioxide in there. That is annoying as usual. But I can start working with a couple of ceramic tiles, which I can place already on top. I'll leave this so that the carbon dioxide can find its way out. Hopefully, at least. You know what? I'm going to temporarily deconstruct this tile so the carbon dioxide can go in here. Then I'm going to replace it again. And that should be all I need. Now, I can also put in this side of the wall here. And that's where the steam turbine goes. I also need some power wire still. So let's see. This goes down there. And then up there. I know what. Let's do it like this. Yeah, that looks good. So, this one here needs to be analyzed. And yeah, pretty soon this will also start to off gas again. Okay. And how Yeah, okay, we have this analyzed, so I can also close this off here. This is maybe a bit of a higher priority than the rest, but this means at least this Tamer here is done. And we'll see where we end up in a few moments over here. And of course, I forgot a few things over here. First of all, I need to set the timer sensor here, 2.9 green and 53 red, according to the average output of the volcano. And I also completely forgot that I actually need an output rail. So let's run this through here, and you know what? I'm going to run this through here. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to run it plain through here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, now let's have a look where we are over here. Now I noticed that I also forgot a few things over here, namely the pipe here going up and then through the liquid and then normal pipe all over the place. Okay, and I think I'm actually not going to bother with evacuating this entire thing. It's not really necessary. And just a bit of a time waste right now. So I'll keep it as is. So anyway, I can also set this one here to 100 seconds. Like so. Then the atmosphere sensor here to above maximum. And this one here to above, let's say 2100. Power is in place. Everything is in place. Once this is cleared out, I can put in a last insulated tile here and close this off more or less and get a vacuum going. And then on this side, I just need to wait until Ren here is done analyzing. And a few cycles later, things have changed. As you can see, the steam turbine is now in its enclosure, nothing but water and oxygen around it. I also already put in a little vacuum chamber here, so I can later on use this as a way to get into the rather cool area below. But now it's getting a bit more interesting. I have a vacuum in here and I have polluted oxygen and carbon dioxide over here. So it's time to start digging all of this here out. Once I have cleared this area out, I'm going to put a tile right here, which means that I can draw out the carbon dioxide and maybe even another tile temporarily up there. So I'm only drawing out the carbon dioxide. And once all of the carbon dioxide has been removed, I can start, well, building the rest of this pyramid I had earlier and, well, finish all of this here up. Besides of that, there are a few more things that have changed on Bano, but first let's make the sweeping orders here. But now let's switch quickly over. As you can see, I decided to give the digging orders for this entire right side because I noticed that we were getting very close to the outer border already. One thing of note, there is actually an area where we can reach into the space biome without any abyssal in the middle. And that's rather problematic since, well, there are some shaft walls around and they will be able to get around here. And additionally, this is rather cold and I don't want to supercool my base. So I'm putting in insulated tiles and I'm making them out of obsidian since shaft walls won't be able to actually shuffle through obsidian. That's the reason I'm going with this line of insulated tiles of obsidian. Anyway, we have now a bit more coal, as you can see. So we should be over the hill for now. But let's have a look. What can we work with? We have suit wearing, not really what I'm looking for. Rocketry. Another pilot is not really what I'm looking for. Some lime, although I have a lot of lime already lying around. I don't know what. Let's go with the simple stuff. Just a lime. Not really looking for anything. Some coal would have been nice, but you can get everything you want all the time. So anyway, this can now all be done. Over here I need to place this tile and this tile temporarily, and I need to turn on the pump, so all of this here starts to remove the... Oh, there's already no carbon dioxide in here. That's really nice to see. So I can hopefully close this off without any carbon dioxide getting in here. and should be done pretty soon. And then I'll have to do a little bit in this corner too. And done. Took about 20 cycles since we started on this project, but we are finally finished with the hot polluted oxygen vent here. Now, usually I don't really bother with them, since for one you need active cooling with the 500 degrees of the output temperature. And for the other, as you can see, the average output is not really that much, so they are usually not really worth the effort. But, nevertheless, this time I decided to try my hand on this, and it should work out. And, well, I had the materials lying around anyway. But, as I was saying, there is a few things I want to do over here, and also over there. Namely, those two places here are the lowest part of my base, which means they are a pretty good point to put in a gas pump to deal with the carbon dioxide and similar accumulating in the base. So, first thing first, I need to get down here. And since I have some plans for this area here, I'm going to go a bit to the side. Just going to dig down here and then over. Then I can put in the gas pump here, and let's say the second one goes over there. Yeah. Then let's say the output goes into this pipe and this pipe. Then I am going to need a gas element sensor. One here. And let's put one there. Then a NOT gate. A filter gate. And then I just need to connect everything up. In a kind of semi-loop. And finally, I mustn't forget about the power. So this power from here and from over here. And that's pretty much all I need to get this going. And yeah, that should deal with all of the carbon dioxide that has been accumulating in the space here. Of course, it's usually a good idea to ensure a proper gas exchange, so I added a few airflow tiles at the top there. And with that, I think we have reached a good point to stop with this episode here, since we managed a decent amount. For one, we finally have this hot polluted oxygen vent here tamed, and for the other, we also have our standard tamer setup for this Iron Volcano over here, which will actually erupt in just half a cycle. Pretty decent, and you can always make use of some more refined metals. But I think this is really the end of this episode, and in the next episode we are going to point our focus towards Albano and the power situation over there. And with that, all that's left for me to say is that I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share and comment if you did so, it really helps with the algorithm. Independent of that, I wish you a nice day, and well, see ya!